Life will send each of us all manner of storms. How we weather them will become our legacy, such as the legacy of Greta Haapasalo. My sisters and I grew up in Washington State, along with others who were also Finnish descendants. We learned to sing Finnish songs from our Grandma May, who was a pianist, kantele player, and a genealogist. She taught us Mun Kanteleni, which was written by Greta, our fourth great-grandmother. Her song is like the amazing grace of Finland. Intrigued to learn more about Greta's story, we set out for Finland to retrace her footsteps. We landed in Helsinki and drove to the Kaustinen area. Greta was born the youngest of 5 children during a time when Russia ruled over Finland.
Wow. This is the place.
She was born here.
This is where Greta was born.
She learned to play a 6-string kantele at the age of 6. The couple who now own her birth house invited us inside for coffee and dessert. Bridal expert Annalisa explained that Greta wore a traditional Kaustinen crown when she was married to Jonas Huntus, a farmer. It was a happy beginning, but darkness loomed on the horizon.
Olin 9 vanha. Vielä alkoi uusi värssy minun elämiseni. Tein ensimmäisen soittomatkan silloin. Oli taas kerran rahan tarvis, kun piti saada kangas kurotuksi. No mulle tuli mieleen, kuinka mulla oli useasti sanottu, että soitolla ja laululla tienoja se tulisi elätieksi.
Tragedy descended upon the Duchy of Finland with relentless rain that flooded the crops. People died of hunger, up to 20% in certain areas like Kaustinen. Greta now had to travel and sing to support her family because her husband was out of work. She sang songs from the Kalevala, the epic poem of Finland, and she wrote her own songs too. At the urging of Zakris Tupelius, a poet and a historian, she adopted the surname Haapasalo, based on a home in this area. Topelius championed Greta's career since he desired to cultivate Finnish patriotism. Heikki uncovered her memory stone, and we placed a candle in Greta's memory.
Kun me tultiin Pietarista, me oltiin Mikkelin lähellä. Oli kevät ja kuuraa maassa. Ja mulle tuli mieleen, että mitenköhän ne siellä kotona. Jos siellä vaikka haudathan jotain meiltä. Ja kun me tultiin kotiin, niin kuultiin, että samana sunnuntaina oli haudattu meidän 2 lasta. Nuori ja 3. nuori. Olivat kuolleet kurkkutautiin. Minä kiitin Jumalaa, että hän oli ottanut lapset tykönsä. Missähän minä olin ne synnyttänyt, kun olisin saanut olla sängyn vieressä.
Greta's notoriety grew as she moved from singing in villages to cities. Topelius published dozens of news articles about her. She had a following from the very poor to the very rich. Ilmari Werkala designed this memorial statue of Kantele Greta in the 1950s because of his deep interest in her life. Greta toured for 40 years through the Duchy of Finland, Sweden, and even St. Petersburg, leaving a legacy of hope with her music. Some credit her with keeping the language and culture of Finland alive while under the sovereignty of Russia. At the Kansantaiten Keskus, we toured the museum and found one of Greta's kanteles on display. She was an innovator with music, asking kantele makers to add more strings so she could compose and create a new musical experience for her listeners. Most of her touring took place during the winter, for it was easier to travel by snow with a horse and sleigh. Another memorial stone is in Varkaus, where Greta and Jonas lived in a small cottage in her later years. A center is now next to where the cottage used to be and has a coffee shop bearing her name. Her husband died here in 1890. Greta's final move was to Jyväskylä.
I thought she was born in November.
She was buried there in 1893, and in 1899, the Society of Young Finns placed a granite stone on her grave. 24 years after her passing, Finland gained its independence from Russia. On our way back to Helsinki, we stopped in at the Christmas market in Tampere. I was curious if the Finnish people still remembered her and what she had done for Finland. We found a teacher selling her artwork and asked if she knew about Greta Haapasalo.
Yeah, I know her, and I was telling my pupils about her, so she had a big role in our history.
Going home, I had a greater understanding of Greta's life and struggles. She was able to find hope in a brighter future. Her song Beyond Sorrow has lasted for generations and kept the Finnish sisu spirit alive.
Then it will come about, when many evils and troubles find them, that this song will testify before them as a witness, for it shall not be forgotten from the mouth of their descendants. For I know their inclination which they are developing today, before I bring them into the land which I swore.